Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today is One Sketch Three Ways, a series that I join in monthly with my two lovely friends Helen and Jackie. I'll leave their details linked below. We've also got a Facebook group where you can come and join in throughout the month, so do go and check that out. Again, I'll leave the link below. And today I'm scrapbooking 2 photos of our trip to New York last year, and this was New Year's Eve when all the ticker tape started falling from Times Square. So the sketch you can see in the top left hand corner is one that I created this month, and it's 2 semicircles. So you saw I grabbed my We Are Memory Keepers circle cutter and I set that to 7 inches, and I've just cut 2 slightly over semicircles. One in blue to match the blue lighted photo, and one in the green to match the green lighted photo, lighted photo, oh my goodness. And now I'm just using the Hey Little Magpie brushstroke stamps to stamp some watercolours down the centre of my black page. So because this is New Year's Eve and obviously very dark with lots of lights in New York, I wanted to use these metallic watercolours to really show that off, and black is the best way to do that. So I'm just painting the gold onto the stamps and then stamping it down onto the black card. I did move some of the pigment around a bit because you can see it sort of pooled where I'd put too much water on at the beginning. So just spreading that around a little bit. And these are the the brushstroke stamps from Hey Little Magpie, if I didn't already mention that. The watercolours, I've got a selection of waters, some of Kuretake and some are the Vicki Boutin paints. I think these may be the Vicki Boutin paints, but they're absolutely brilliant. I use them a lot, you'll have seen, for splatters and things, predominantly the gold, which is nearly gone, but I do use the other colours as well, and they're just great. So you can see I'm just getting some colour down the centre of the page, and then I will come in with some splatters after that, just to cover either side. So each month we all create with this sketch and we upload on the first Sunday of the month, and you'll see how we all interpret the same sketch differently, and then we invite you all to play along and share with us in our Facebook group. So do come and have a look. If you haven't joined already, it's great fun, and it's so interesting to see how everybody interprets the sketch very, very differently. So I'm sticking pretty close to the sketch this month. I've got the 2 semicircles. I'm not rotating or anything, but you can see I am going in heavy with the mixed media this time. So once I've added these splatters, I shall leave that to dry and then start matting the photos. So just with some white cardstock first of all, and I don't think I've mentioned yet, it's the Vicki Boutin Bold and Bright collection I'm using. I don't have an awful lot of this collection. I just have the foam stickers, the project pad, and then the papery pieces. I am considering getting more because it's such a beautiful collection, and the more I use it, the more I'm thinking I don't have that many bright coloured collections really in my stash, so I think I may have to add to it a little. Just get some of the open cardstock and maybe the stickers or something, we'll see. So I trimmed down my semicircles ever so slightly off camera. I felt they were just a little bit too much of a circle to begin with, and I also used the frames dies from Hey Little Magpie to create those 2 frames, the Insta frames I think it's called. In the end I don't actually use those, but looking back they do look quite good, so I'm not quite sure why. This is the ticker tape that came down. I just filled my coat pockets as we caught it, and ever since then, every time I put my winter coat on, I remember that it's there. So it's really nice to finally have these down on the page. I only picked up 7 pieces, so they're all going down, and I've just sort of arranged the colours, as you can see, in a pleasing manner. I'm then going to add this border strip. I cut this again from a Hey Little Magpie die, the loopy borders, and I used one of the papers from the project pad. It's gold foiled, so that I thought that worked really nicely. It's black with gold foiled stars. Now obviously you can't tell that there are stars really, but it's just got a nice bit of interest there. And this is where I'm going to bring those semicircles in, and you can see it covers a lot of that splattering actually when I add the semicircle, but that's fine, I can add more. So I'm just going to distress the edges of each of the semicircles with my Tim Holtz edge distresser, and then get that stuck down, and then I can add the photos on top. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath those pieces of ticker tape. Well, it's not ticker tape as it is tissue that they use now. It used to be ticker tape years ago, but it's so nice to be able to have that on the page. So here's the second piece, just going around that quickly. And these papers were absolutely perfect with the dots to replicate the look of the confetti falling down. And that blue one has all the colours of those watercolours in, so it worked really nicely. So just trying to decide how to position those photos. I don't really want to cover up all the ticker tape, so I do end up tucking them behind that. So here I am just playing with those frames again, but like I say, I decided to save those for another layout. So I'm going to mat the two photos on some of the foiled cardstock in the project pad. So this first one, you'll see when I angle it up there, is a lovely green. And then the second one that I'm going to use is a pink with gold foiling on. And that, although it's a blue photo, it does have some pink from the lights showing. So that works really nicely with that. Almost put it upside down. So there's the first one. This is where I decide not to use those frames. And then I'm just going to pop this onto this pink, cut it out, distress the edges, and then I can start embellishing the layout. And there's not a huge amount to this layout. The sketch is fairly simple. It's open to interpretation, so you add as much or as little as you want to add. But like I say, I did stick fairly closely to it today, which isn't like me for sketches. So just getting those stuck down, and you can see there I just tucked it underneath those pieces of tissue paper just so that they show. So now I'm going to come in with my title. These are the holographic silver thickers from the Halloween collection from American Crafts last year. I was packing a set in an order recently, and I noticed that this pack was defective. One of the C's, the holographic paper, has come off, so I couldn't sell it, so I thought I would use this, and it's absolutely perfect for this layout. It works really nicely with that silver holographic cover. So I'm going to spell out NYE in NYC 2023. So just pulling out the numbers and letters for that. I think I pull out a 4. And you get so used to writing the same date, don't you, every time? I almost put 2024 and then realised. So there, look, I pulled off the 4 and then went back to the 3. So I do come in with an exclamation mark as well. And then I'm going to come in with the foam stickers and see what I can add from those. And they're brilliant for this sort of a layout. First of all, this one says the best. So pop that at the top there, and then use another one of them to add underneath the bottom left-hand corner of that photo, and then a third one up at the top here. And then I spotted these glasses and it just says fun times, and I thought how perfect. And they're really nice, just underneath that in, the word in. And then I see a few of the gold hearts, which I'm going to add, and also this top 5 faves. This was definitely in our top 5 of this trip. It wasn't expected, we didn't know. We've been recommended not to leave the hotel after 7 o'clock because it just gets so busy and it's very difficult to get back into your hotel. So we just stayed in the room and chilled together. And then at 11:45, we decided we'd go down outside and see what we could see. And I don't think we'd really fathom just how close to Times Square we were. So it was a real shock to see all the ticker tape coming down from the buildings when the clock struck midnight. So these are the stickers from the project pad, and I'm just choosing some of the word phrases. I've got, this is the place to be, enjoy every minute, this is everything, and today was really, really good. So all phrases that work perfectly with the feel of this layout. So just getting all of those positioned and making sure that I'm happy with the balance on the page. And then I'm going to come in with some sparkly enamel dots from my stash. And I'm just using colours that work nicely with these photos and the other colours that I've got going on the layout. So just scattering those about. And then, as I say, I am going to come back in with some more splatters of those watercolours just to bring them out a little bit more. And I'm just going to use a very small paintbrush just to get nice little splatters. So first of all with the pink, and you can see it's a much finer paintbrush that I'm using, so I get really small splatters going around. And just focusing on the paper as well as around the black cardstock. And I'll come in with each colour. And you can't see it as well. As it dries, the pigments show a little bit more. So it looks quite dark at the beginning. You can barely see it. But as I say, as it starts to dry on the card, it becomes much brighter. So a bit of the gold, and then finally the green after that. And you can see they're all just building up on those papers as well as on the black cardstock. And I just love how fun this layout is. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Do check out the other girls in the description box down below, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.